Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Daniel Sparkman.
And I'm Tamika Alexander. It's been a busy day of developments out of Boston with the news that authorities have video of a suspect.
And we are now learning more about what authorities say the identity of the suspect is in connection with Monday's pair of bombings. Today, several stories came out that they had identified a suspect with video from department stores there beside the finish line of the Boston Marathon, which happened Monday. And then stories came out that a suspect had been arrested, but authorities came out this afternoon during a press conference saying that no suspect has been arrested right now. So we're still waiting for authorities to identify that person. Still, they have not done that, and still waiting for someone to be arrested, but it looks like authorities are getting much closer to that. We have live reports tonight on a variety of stories. Team coverage tonight with WVUA News. We start with reporter Tori Dunnan, who joins us now live from Boston with more on where the investigation began.
The FBI says no arrests have been made, but authorities are combing through thousands of tips through pictures as well as video, looking for any and all leads. Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick says the investigation into Monday's bombings is going to take time.
They are doing this in a very methodical way, very thorough way. It's several blocks over there that they're covering a square inch at a time. And piecing the story together and I think making progress.
Surveillance video and news footage may show a person authorities say could be a suspect. Another break came when investigators searching a roof recovered a pressure cooker lid, possibly used in the attack. It will be added to evidence already collected, much of which has come from those who witnessed the blast. Countless pictures, all documenting the moments of terror and heroism. This veteran EMT saw the carnage firsthand.
It was the city's worst day and our department's best day, I think.
Some 180 people were injured. 3 died. 8-year-old Martin Richard, 29-year-old Crystal Campbell, and Boston University grad student Lingzi Liu. As the survivors' physical injuries begin to heal, the emotional damage suffered Monday is becoming more apparent in the form of post-traumatic stress disorder.
It's something that can be with these patients forever.
Speaking before a group of wounded warriors gathered for an annual bike rally, President Obama said they will serve as an inspiration for the Boston victims.
Now we send our support and encouragement to people who never expected that they'd need it. The wounded civilians who are just beginning what will be, I'm sure, for some of them, a long road to recovery.
Also, new information tonight. We're getting information from a law enforcement official who's being briefed on the investigation, saying that images of 2 men seen near the finish line are being circulated to federal and state agencies. Those men are being described as possible suspects, as high interest because of the timing of the photograph, but also because, according to the source, one of those men was carrying a black backpack. We're live in Boston. I'm Tori Dunnan reporting. Now back to you.
Thank you, Tori, for that live report from Boston tonight. The Boston Marathon tragedies have captivated the nation's attention since Monday afternoon.
Now, in the hours that followed the bombing, one University of Alabama student watched in fear as she waited to discover if her father and other family members were okay after the race. WVUA's Molly Mitchell met with the Boston native to hear her story.
It's Marathon Monday, so nobody has work or school, all the colleges have off. Everybody's watching from like their office buildings. It's like almost like a parade.
As Megan followed the race from Tuscaloosa, she had family members running.
My Uncle Joey was running the race, and his daughter and wife was in there too.
And her father, Jim Winslow, volunteered his skills as a fire captain.
Set up just about miles 12. It's on the Newton-Wellesley line. As the bulk of the runners go by, they close that station down, and then we head into Boston to help augment tents that are closer to the finish line.
Then, the unexpected.
Right, we had just broken down our station.
It was 15 minutes before I had to be at work.
We were making our way into Boston. And this year we were set to go right to the finish line.
And my friend was looking at her Twitter, and she was like, "What happened in Boston today?"
And as we were getting closer, we had heard what happened on the radio.
And immediately, like, tears rushed to my eyes.
Once Megan realized what had happened at the Boston Marathon, she joined the nation in waiting to find out if her loved ones were okay.
I waited at least probably an hour and a half, and he was able to send me a text that said, "I'm okay."
It was pretty frustrating because the cell phones all went down.
My Uncle Joey crossed the finish line, and he was with his wife and daughter, and he said just like chaos went off. I'm thankful there's traffic, because if there wasn't, that could have been my dad.
You know, you never know what's going to happen, and you got to live each day to the fullest.
Boston is a strong town with strong people. I think there'll be better precautions, but there'll be lots of support.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Molly Mitchell, WVUA News.
Megan's father stated that he still hasn't had time to wrap his head around this tragedy.
And one of his fellow firefighters lost both of his legs, and his wife was critically injured during that explosion. In the aftermath of the Boston bombings, many people are looking at the security of other sporting events.
And in Tuscaloosa, we're soon going to be tested when tens of thousands of fans enter Bryant-Denny Stadium for Airdate. So is the university doing anything extra to enhance security? WVUA's Travis Leader joins us live in Tuscaloosa. And Travis, is there any word on any type of safety measures that are going to take place Saturday?
Well, UA officials say that they don't publicly discuss security measures, but there are already safeguards in place, as well as rules and regulations that all fans must adhere to. The University of Alabama says they are confident in the comprehensive security plan they currently have in place. So let's look at some of the protocols that are known to the public. There are various items not allowed inside the stadium. These range from weapons of any kind to food and drink containers. Law enforcement officials have the right to inspect any item at any time for the purpose of spectator safety. These prohibited items must be returned to cars or disposed before entering the stadium, and there are no provisions to check in any items at any gate. There are also behavior protocols enforced inside Bryant-Denny. Anyone considered to be rowdy or threatening, as well as physical attacks, can be subject to arrest. Also, NCAA policy prevents fans from entering the field of play unless they have proper credentials. Improper field entry can also lead to your arrest. Also, officials want to let fans know there are police, ushers, and event staff stationed throughout the stadium during football games. And if any problems arise, you should locate the nearest personnel for assistance. Now, according to Tuscaloosa Police Chief Steve Anderson, his department is planning on meeting with UA officials sometime this week to discuss A-Day security plans. But as of right now, there is no word on whether there will be additional personnel or additional safeguards put in place. Reporting live on the University of Alabama campus, Travis Leader, WVUA News. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Travis. In other news from the nation's capital today, a man was taken into custody in the suspected ricin-tainted letters sent to President Obama and a U.S. senator. Law enforcement says the suspect was already on their radar and they had been keeping an eye on him.
Incidents involving suspicious mail cause scares from the White House to Senate offices both in Washington and elsewhere. Melissa Rainey has more in this report.
An arrest has been made in suspected ricin-tainted letters addressed to President Obama and Republican Senator Roger Wicker. The male suspect was taken into custody in the Tupelo, Mississippi area, which also happens to be where Wicker is from. This was the scene Wednesday as heavily protected hazardous materials teams entered a government mail facility outside the nation's capital as the suspicious parcels rattled Capitol Hill and the White House.
The president was briefed on these matters, and obviously he understands, and we all understand that there are procedures in place.
Police say both messages came with this written message. To see a wrong and not expose it is to become a silent partner to its continuance. Both letters are signed, "I am KC, and I approve this message." The incident at the mail facility and Monday's terror attack in Boston put workers near the building on edge.
Even with the Boston bombing and this year, we have so much tight security. It changed our lives. Our lives have definitely changed.
Elsewhere, a suspicious letter was also reported at the Saginaw, Michigan offices of U.S. Senator Carl Levin and is being investigated. And authorities were called out to the Phoenix offices of Senator Jeff Flake as well after a report of suspicious mail. It turned out to be a false alarm. The suspicious parcels come in the wake of Monday's attack near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. The FBI said Wednesday it has no indication of a connection between the bombings and the tainted letters. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
The contaminated samples have been sent for a full laboratory analysis and to completely confirm the presence of ricin. And switching gears to weather, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast.
Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott joins us now. Richard, I'm going to say it was almost summertime out there today.
Yeah, felt a lot like summer on this Wednesday. Temperatures top out in the upper 80s. The humidity, the heat index at one point was over 90 at Tuscaloosa. Certainly very mild tonight. Even now we're talking 78 in Tuscaloosa, 75 Birmingham, 73 over in Warrior, and down in Linden and Marengo County checking in at 75 this hour. Satellite and radar, a couple of popcorn thunderstorms developing this afternoon. All of those have gone to bed for the night. A little bit of cloud cover still sticking around. Here's that forecast tomorrow for Thursday. A dry day, but still I think an afternoon storm is possible sometime between about 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Then the storms, just like today, will go to bed pretty quickly tomorrow evening. What about the chance of some severe weather late tomorrow night, early on Friday? We'll talk more about that in your forecast. Plus, look at that 7-day planner. Weather is coming up.
Thanks so much, Richard. Alabama is home to some of the most scenic waterways in the country.
And one is right in our backyard. But as Victoria Sheehan, who joins us live, tells us the Black Warrior River is now on a list of the nation's most endangered rivers.
That's right, guys. I had a chance to go out to different parts of the Black Warrior River today, and it's no secret that fishermen, boaters, and outdoor enthusiasts love the river. And so many were surprised, even saddened, to hear that the river is now on the list of the most endangered rivers in the country.
It's a serene picture.
Calm and relaxing, actually. I enjoyed it. Took a couple pictures of the river and some of the flowers in the area. It was nice.
But while the Black Warrior River is beautiful, it's now endangered.
I mean, it's kind of scary. I mean, you think about the wildlife and all the different types of, whether it be fish species or ducks or geese or all that kind of stuff that go in and out of it. I mean, it's kind of scary that it looks fairly clean, but obviously it's not. So it's definitely a concerning thing.
According to the nonprofit organization American Rivers, the Black Warrior is the 7th most endangered waterway in the nation, and they say the threat of coal mining along its banks is one of the biggest reasons why.
I very much lobbied to get this river on the list, and with there being such a good tipping point, I nominated them to be on the list with our national office.
One property that concerns the organization is a place called Shepherd's Bend in Walker County. The University of Alabama currently owns the land, and local environmental groups want the school to permanently promise that they won't sell it to a coal mining company. But according to Deborah Lane with University Relations, the university has not been approached about leasing the land and has no current plans to lease or sell the land. But for environmental activists, no matter the reason, Black Warrior River deserves to gain attention in order to be protected.
I was really happy to see them, even though it's not a list that rivers necessarily want to be on. It's a good list to be on if you have a good decision point that you want to rally action around.
So even if you're not concerned about coal mining per se, the local organizations like the Black Warrior River Keeper still wants people to stay aware of how they're treating the river. And one of the easiest ways to help protect the river is by picking up your trash and recycling. And Tamika and Daniel, that's even more important as we head into those summer months where more and more people are using Alabama's waterways.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Victoria, reporting live for us tonight. Changes are coming to J.C. Park in Alberta City.
A new tennis facility will soon fill the open area of grass in the park. Tuscaloosa County Parks and Recreation Authority, as well as the Alabama and Tuscaloosa Tennis Associations, were joined by city and county officials this afternoon for a groundbreaking ceremony on the new facility. The first phase of the facility will have 10 outdoor courts and 3 indoor courts, as well as a fitness center, deli, and pro shop. The master plan calls for a total of 20 outdoor and 6 indoor courts. Residents will be able to purchase a membership or pay as they play. Those behind the facility say it'll benefit the entire community.
Primarily, it will be for folks in the neighborhood, folks in our community, to learn the sport of tennis, and then secondarily, it will bring in tennis tournaments and help our economy.
Tennis is a sport of a lifetime, so it's something that whether they're 6 years old or 85 years old, they'll be able to play.
English says if all goes as planned, the outdoor courts in phase 1 should be completed by September or October of this year, followed by the indoor facility, which should be complete the beginning of 2014. Now an update on an exclusive story we first brought you last night at 10.
Tuscaloosa police are investigating a shooting at Stillman College. That story starts tonight's Home Team Crime Watch. The shooting happened around 8 o'clock Tuesday night, and now exclusive video from the scene last night. According to Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit Lieutenant Kip Hart, it happened at Hay Hall. Hart told WVUA the victim was shot more than once with a small caliber handgun. 21-year-old Elgarando Williams has been charged with attempted murder. Hart says he turned himself in to Stillman police. Officials say the shooting stemmed from an argument between Williams and the victim.
A 21-year-old male suspect had fled the scene, but later turned himself into Stillman Police Department. Homicide investigators responded and took custody of the suspect.
Hart says the victim is listed in stable condition.
Here's your chance to help investigators find a missing piece of the puzzle in their search for Tuscaloosa County's most wanted.
Hello, I'm Chief Deputy Ron Abernathy with the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, and we need your help locating some of Tuscaloosa County's most wanted. James Edward Owens, black male, 43 years of age, 5'11", 367 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, last known to be living in the 700 block of Old Mill Street, Tuscaloosa, wanted for violation of Sex Offender Act. Danny Savaris Nevels, black male, 22 years of age, 6 foot, 179 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, last known to be living in the 6000 block of Johnson Road, Tuscaloosa, wanted for failure to appear, kidnapping, first degree, discharging a firearm into a building or vehicle, and DV reckless endangerment. Christine Joan Giesland, white female, 25 years of age, 5'11", 145 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, last known to be living in the 1500 block of Greenwood Circle, Tuscaloosa, wanted for unlawful possession of a controlled substance. If you have any information on these or others wanted by the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, please contact us at 464-8672 or on our website at www.tcsoal.org. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Working together, we will continue to make Tuscaloosa County a safer place to live. Thank you.